guys, it is good to have you on the show Family Matters with me today. I'm excited to be here because I have a lot of nice topics I'm going to be sharing with you today. Hope you guys are doing okay out there. Hope you are taking enough water. Trust me, there's so much heat out there and we are dehydrating. So stay hydrated, take as much water as you can. Okay, we are going to be talking about a very beautiful topic today. I am your host Lillian, and I hope you stay with me till the end of the video because there are so many nice things you're going to be learning from today's topic. Whether you are single or you are married, trust me, you don't want to miss a bit. So as we go along, you can drop your comments and contributions and even questions in the comments section, and do not forget to subscribe. Okay, excuse me. So I'm going to be talking about boundaries today. The boundaries we set with for extended family members and in-laws, and how we communicate these boundaries, to them effectively without having to bear a grudge with a family member. You get. So what are boundaries now? These are standards we set to have a smooth running, family. If you want to have a smooth running family, you need to have standards, you need to have boundaries, and you need to make sure that they are met. Alright? So, we are going to be talking about three types of boundaries, basically, so that we can grab one or two things or in a short time. I'm going to be talking about the physical boundaries, the emotional boundaries, and the financial boundaries. And then at the end, I'm going to be talking about how we can communicate these boundaries to our extended family members and our in-laws, of course, without having any issues with anyone. Okay, first of all then, let us talk about the physical boundaries. No, this can be, the time you want family members to visit your house. How long should they stay? Do they call before they come? You could discuss with your partner, like, this part of Africa, this part of the world is a place where when you get married, like they say, you are not getting married to just that person but the entire family. And then as soon as you get married, boom, there are up to 2-3 family members living with a new couple. Sometimes I wonder how people reason. These are people who just got married and they need privacy, and then boom, you just start bringing people to live with them. So these are some boundaries you can discuss with your partner. Tell the family members, tell your in-laws, hello, 2, 3, 4 years after our marriage, we don't want any visitors coming to live with us, alright, or family members rather. If you are coming to visit, you are coming to go back and not to stay. We need some time, to figure ourselves out, some privacy. So these are some of the boundaries you can set. And it could also be cases of your family members, maybe physically or verbally assaulting your partner. How do you set boundaries like this? We have heard of scenarios, maybe you've even experienced one. There was this one of a brother who was squatting with his elder brother, this guy, and then he ended up beating his brother's wife for some very, flimsy reason. Only for this man to come back from work and realize that his wife had been hit by his younger brother. He didn't take it lightly, of course. He made sure he sent that guy packing out of his house, and he told the entire family that nobody messes with his wife. He made it clear that you don't come to his house, and mess with his partner. These are some of the boundaries we are talking about. We have seen scenarios where mother-in-laws gets to insult a woman's husband, and then the woman says nothing to defend her man. And we have seen cases where the lady actually defends the husband, telling the mother not to talk to her husband in the manner she did. Set some boundaries. You don't just let every family member come to have a say or just do whatever they like in your home and just go. Okay, now we are going to be talking about the emotional boundary. Now, these kind of boundaries have to do with what kind of topics are you willing to discuss with your in-laws or family members. What level of information about your family that you are willing to give out there, that you are willing to discuss with extended family members. It could be sensitive topics like how many children you want to have. Those are personal decisions you're supposed to make with your partner, not the entire family. Like Some even want to know how many times you have sex or how frequently you do it. Family members are that nosy, and if you give them the chance, I'm telling you, you have the entire family poking their nose into your family business, which is not supposed to be so. It could also be about what are your next plans in the future. Some people just want to know everything and anything, so you have to set these boundaries. Even if these discussions come up casually, you make it clear and known to these family members and relatives that you are not willing to discuss this, and nobody should ask you anything about it, because it is totally your right to keep that a secret with your partner. Okay, then I'm going to be talking about the financial boundary. Now we get to the part of money. I know, right? I have seen scenarios where families have been separated because of money. Spouses have been separated because of money. Siblings have been separated. Trust me, money issues are not issues we take very, very casually. They can cause a lot of havoc in a family if you don't set boundaries and if you don't plan. Like I said earlier, in this part of Africa, you marry the entire family. Sometimes a particular person gets to take care of every other family member, especially the firstborns. I greet you guys out there. Come on, up for now. Trust me. You get to take care of every family member. Some even feel very entitled. They feel like it is their right, for you to take care of them. They don't even get to appreciate your effort. Now, if you are the financial boundaries I'm talking about are these. When you decide, to get married, you really have to set these boundaries, because the entire family can't still be depending on you, to perform the financial to solve rather the financial issues you used to when you were single, because now you have a family to plan for. You have a future ahead of you. Your finances cannot go round the way it used to. Now these are the kind of cases where you need to start setting boundaries. For example, you can discuss with your partner monthly allowances for your in-laws, for your parents. How much do we give to these people, and you make sure you stick to the amount you have agreed to give to them, and you make sure you give it to them as you have planned monthly, and you let them know that nothing else is coming out of your pocket during the month until it is time you're supposed to give them the allowances. Otherwise, you have siblings and in-laws and parents knocking at your door when there's no milk in their house. When somebody needs a new pair of shoes, they come knocking at your door. When you don't have these boundaries, you will end up getting frustrated with yourself at the end of the day, and even transferring aggression on innocent people, because by the time you look at your bank account, it is empty, and you are like, but I've been working. But you've spent all this money taking care of family members, and there's nothing in your savings. So you see, these boundaries actually help us to keep our families running smoothly. We are not saying that you should be too harsh, with these boundaries. We're just saying that they are necessary. Just have some standards. Let it be known to your extended family members, to your in-laws, that not anything can be just done in your family. Everybody needs to respect themselves when they are around you. All right, I hope you're able to get one or two from that. Now I'm going to be talking about how we can how do we relate this message to these relatives and extended family members, without having to keep a grudge, because some people will never understand. Trust me, some family members will never ever understand, no matter the reasons you give them. So how do you communicate these boundaries and these standards of yours effectively to these family members without having issues with anybody? Though at some point, if you get to have stubborn family members who wouldn't listen, at some point you have to be very, very stubborn about your standards too. Some of them require you to be strict. And then like I always say, the manner in which you present a topic to someone, the manner in which you present something to someone matters a lot. In as much as you want to keep your standards and make your boundaries, you have to present it to these people in a respectful manner. These are older people, these are in-laws, these are your parents. You have to do it respectfully. Be assertive. Let them know how serious you are and how much you are not willing to tolerate any nonsense when it comes to your family or to your spouse. And like I said, you do it respectfully. That way you'll be able to pass this message across. And if anybody in your family happens to break those boundaries, you make you do whatever you have to do to make it clear and known to them that you will not tolerate such if anybody tries to break those boundaries. And then I would also like to add that in as much as you have boundaries, you also learn to respect other people's boundaries, because you are not the only person that has boundaries. These people you are setting boundaries for, they have their own boundaries too. I'll give you an example with my dad. He's the kind of person that once it is 7 p.m., he doesn't want any visitors in his house. He believes that from that time on, it is for himself and his family. You eat, you discuss, you talk. He does not want any visitors. So if you are coming to get married or pick a wife from his house, be rest assured that anything past 7, you are not welcome in his house, unless of course for some exceptions, so some emergency cases, maybe you can put a call through and they can open the door for you. So you see, you're not the only one with boundaries. If you have people like this who have their own boundaries, you try to respect those boundaries too, so that yours will be respected. And finally, I would like to say that there are some scenarios and cases where you need to adjust, make room for adjustment in your boundaries. Maybe if they are too harsh, you can try to make adjustments, so that at the end of the day, oh my people, you will not have issues with your family members. Trust me, you need more friends than enemies out there, especially from your family. So I really hope you've been able to learn one or two from this very brief topic that I've talked about. I would love to hear from you. You can drop your comments, your suggestions, your contributions, your questions in the comments section. I'm really glad that you stayed with me till the end of the video today. And please do not forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for staying with me. I hope that you will be there when I come for the next show. All right, thank you very much. Stay hydrated and God bless you. Thank you.